Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'll give everyone a minute to join us. All right. Here's your do now question. What's your dream job? Go ahead and put that in the chat. And then how do you add rational numbers? We're going to share that out loud. So you have 3 minutes to get your answers in the chat. Also, if your video is not on, take a moment to turn it on before we get started. All right, we got own my own business, dental hygienist. One more minute to get your answers in the chat. A nurse or a surgeon, awesome. All right, how do you add rational expressions? How do you add rational expressions? What do you think, Ethan?
Are these the ones with the like same numbers on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like keep the bottom the same and then add the top one and then simplify them.
Good, perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. Any questions for Ethan? All right, let's go ahead and do good things today. Today's good things are going to come from Liana, Nancy, and Q. Liana, Nancy, and Q. Liana, what's your good thing?
Is that just for like today or can we like any day?
Any day is fine.
Okay, so good thing is that my birthday is this weekend.
Woohoo! You got any exciting plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Kings Island.
Wow, very exciting. How old are you turning?
17.
Is Kings Island open now?
Yeah, the only thing that's not open is the water side.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for sharing. I hope you have fun. Who did I say next? Nancy, what's your good thing?
I don't have a good thing.
What's the best thing that's going on today?
I get to go to work, so
You don't have to, or you get to?
no, I get to, so
Awesome. And then Q, what's your good thing?
I don't really got a good thing today.
What's the best thing that's happening today, though?
Guess I get to watch like the NBA playoffs, I guess. I don't know.
Are they already at the playoffs now?
Yeah, it started yesterday.
Who's playing today?
Magics and Bucks. I'm cheering for the Bucks.
You're rooting for the Bucks?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thanks for sharing. My good thing is that I enjoyed getting to meet all of your parents at back to school night yesterday. I always enjoy back to school night because it's one of the few chances we get to interact with parents. So that was my good thing. Announcements, graphing calculator rentals. Those are happening today and tomorrow. If you are interested in renting out a graphing calculator, you need to fill out the online form, which is on my Canvas page, and then come tomorrow or today until 6 p.m. to pick that up. Questions about that?
That's so great. After I spent like a lot of money on a graphing calculator, I thought they weren't doing rentals this year, and then
I apologize for that. Good news, Karen. Two good things. You don't need it for future math classes. And let's say you don't need it, I highly suggest selling it on Facebook Marketplace. You'll get your money back for the most part. You might lose $40, but that's how much you would have lost if you had rented it anyways.
yeah.
Anyone else have any questions about graphing calculator rentals? All right, any questions about last night's homework? Any questions about last night's homework? Cool. Let's go ahead and get started then. So today, we're going to continue with adding and subtracting rational numbers, except on Friday, we talked about examples where, I'm going to stand today because, I'm getting tired of sitting. Where was I going with this? On Friday, we talked about examples where we had the same denominator. And remember, to add or subtract fractions, you need to have the same denominator. But today we're going to talk about what happens if you don't have the same denominator. So you have to do an extra step and get the same denominator, and then you're going to continue to combine the numerators and keep the common denominator, and then simplify the remaining expression. All right, so how do we find a common denominator? Well, we're going to first learn a key word called the least common multiple. And the least common multiple is the combination of each factor that appears in any expression. Repeats are only counted once, and you end up using this as a common denominator. So to find the least common multiple, you have to first factor out each expression. So your first expression is 2x minus 2. How can I factor out 2x minus 2? How can I factor 2x minus 2? What do you think, Sandra? Sandra, how can I factor out 2x minus 2?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Is it 2 parentheses x squared minus 1?
Just x, because there's no x squared, but yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Good job. All right, so that takes care of that expression. We still need to factor out x squared minus 4x plus 3. X squared minus 4x plus 3. How can I factor out x squared minus 4x plus 3? What do you think, Venus?
You use the magic X.
So 3 goes at the top, negative 4 goes at the bottom. I'll take a volunteer for this one, so go ahead and unmute yourself if you can fill in the X for me.
They're going to be -1, -3, right?
Because -1 times -3 gives you +3. -1 plus -3 gives you -4. So you've got x minus 1, x minus 3. And then your least common multiple means you have to gather all of these factors together. So 2 counts as a factor, so you need that. You need the x minus 1. And then you'll notice the x minus 1 appears again. You don't need to count the repeat. You only have to count it once. So since you already got the x minus 1 from here, you don't have to list out another x minus 1. And then you've got an x minus 3. Questions? All right, so that's your least common multiple, and that's important because you'll need to find the least common multiple to find the common denominators. All right, let's look at example A. So example A is 7 over y plus 8 plus 35 over y squared plus 11y plus 24. So first step, when you add fractions, you need to make sure you have a common denominator. And in this case, I don't have a common denominator. I have a y plus 8 and a y squared plus 11y plus 24. So before we get started, we need to make sure that we have a common denominator. So for that, we need to first factor everything. So can't factor out the 7 because it's all by its lonesome. And y plus 8 can't be factored out any further because nothing goes into y and into 8. 35 can't be factored any further because it's just one term. But you can factor out y squared plus 11y plus 24. I'm going to call on someone to help me out with that. How can I factor out y squared plus 11y plus 24? What do you think, Karen?
You're gonna use the X method.
So 24 goes at the top, 11 goes at the bottom. I'll take a volunteer, so go ahead and unmute yourself if you can fill in the sides. What two numbers multiply to give us 24 and add to give us 11? Taking volunteers. So go ahead and unmute yourself. You can give me the two numbers that multiply to give you 24 and add to give you 11.
Oh, 8 and 3. My fault. I couldn't think.
So you've got y plus 8 and y plus 3. Y plus 8 and y plus 3. So now we have to find the least common multiple so we can get the common denominator. So what should be my least common multiple? What should be my least common multiple? What do you think, Liana?
I don't know.
So least common multiples means that you have to take all the factors of the denominator. So what's the denominator over here?
Y plus 8.
Y plus 8. So that's one factor. Do I need to include this y plus 8?
No.
No, because it's a repeat. And what else do I need to include?
Y plus 3.
Y plus 3. Good. So your least common multiple should be y plus 8 times y plus 3. Y plus 8 times y plus 3. All right, so this is what our denominator should be. Our denominator should match the least common multiple. Let's look at the first fraction. So the denominator is y plus 8. What is missing for this fraction or for this denominator to be the same as this one? What's missing? What do you think, Sandra?
The parentheses?
Yeah, the parentheses, but does this y plus 8, does this match this one?
The y plus 3?
Yeah, so you have to make sure that you include a y plus 3 in the denominator, which means that you have to multiply the denominator by y plus 3, but just multiplying the denominator is not enough. If you multiply the denominator, you have to multiply the numerator as well. So y plus 3 over y plus 3.
Can you move the camera? Oh, wait, never mind.
All right, so anytime you have a number outside that you're multiplying in a parentheses, you have to distribute. So it's 7 times y, which is 7y, and 7 times 3, which is 21. You don't have to worry about simplifying the denominator. You can just leave it as its factors. I'm going to switch the order so that it matches. It's okay. It's the same thing. Y plus 3 times y plus 8 is the same thing as y plus 8 times y plus 3. I just want it to match our least common multiple. Any questions about how we got that far? All right, and I don't have to do anything to this fraction because it already matches my least common multiple. It has everything I need. So I can just go ahead and say 35 over y plus 8 times y plus 3. All right, so now we have a common denominator. So I just have to copy that down, y plus 8 over y plus 3. What's going to be my new numerator? What's going to be my new numerator? What do you think, Q?
It'll be 50 or 7y plus 56.
Yep, because you have to combine the 21 and the 35 together. So 7y plus 56. Good job. All right, next. Last step, you got to simplify. So you're going to look at the numerator and see if you can factor it further. Can we factor out 7y plus 56? And if so, how can we factor it? So can we factor 7y plus 56? If so, how can we factor it? What do you think, Nancy?
7y was 56.
Yeah, can we factor this?
Mm. 7y.
Is there anything that goes into 7 and into 56?
No. I'm gonna say 7. No, it's
Right.
Oh, 7. Oh, okay.
What's left in the front?
7. And then y to the second power.
Y by itself. Y.
Oh, y, and then 56. Isn't it 59?
What's 56 divided by 7?
Isn't it 6? No, that's 40. Oh, not 7. 8.
What's 56 divided by 7?
I don't know. 56. 8.
8. So it should be y plus 8. So y plus 8 times 7 over y plus 8 times y plus 3. Can I cancel anything out? Can I cancel anything out? What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah, you cancel out the y plus 8 and the y plus 8.
So that's going to give you 7 over y plus 3. And your restriction, remember, anytime you cancel something out, you have to set that equal to 0 and then subtract 8 from both sides. So you'll get y is equal to negative 8, but that cannot equal negative 8. So that is your restriction. So anytime you cancel anything out, you got to make sure you set up for the restriction. Any questions on example A before we move on? Does anyone need more time to copy that down before we move on? All right, let's go to the back. So we've got x over x squared minus x minus 12 plus 5 over 12x minus 48. So first step, you're going to look and see, do you have the same denominator? In this case, we don't have the same denominator, so we're gonna have to factor everything and then find the least common multiple. So let's start with this first fraction. X is already factored because it's just one term, but we do have to factor out x squared minus x minus 12. How can I factor out x squared minus x minus 12? What do you think, Venus?
You use the magic X.
So negative 12 goes at the top, negative 1 goes at the bottom. I'll take a volunteer for this. How can I fill in the sides? What numbers go in the sides? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
-4 and +3.
Negative 4 and positive 3 times x minus 4 times x plus 3. And now 5 can't be factored any further, so that stays. Over, how can I factor 12x minus 48? How can I factor 12x minus 48? What do you think, Dion?
You said again, I didn't hear you.
How do I factor out 12x minus 48?
Magic X?
That only works if we have 3 terms. So we only have 2. We have 12x and 48. What's the biggest number that goes into 12 and into 48?
4.
There's a bigger number.
12.
Yep. So if we factor out a 12, what's left inside my parentheses?
1.
What's 12x divided by 12? What would be left?
12x divided by 12, it'll be x. Right.
And then what else?
Um,
What's 48 divided by 12?
4. My bad.
Minus 4. Does that make sense? All right, now we got to find the least common multiple. What's my least common multiple going to be? What's my least common multiple going to be? What do you think, Karen?
4.
So remember, the least common multiple is where you gather all the factors together. So what am I going to keep from my denominators?
Oh, the x plus 3. No, x. You're just gonna cancel out the x, right?
Well, I have to keep this x minus 4, right?
Right.
X plus 3. I have to keep this 12. Do I have to keep this x minus 4?
No,
Why not?
because there's already an x minus 4.
Yes. So all you're doing is collecting all the factors together. That's all you got to do to find the least common multiple. I always like to put the number in front of the parentheses. It just looks nicer that way. So the 12 went into the front. All right, good. So now we have to make sure that each of these denominators matches my least common multiple. So let's look at this first one, x minus 4 times x plus 3. What's missing in this denominator? What's missing in this denominator? What do you think, Liana?
The 12.
Multiply the denominator by 12, which means that you also have to multiply the numerator by 12. All right, so 12 times x gives you 12x. And then don't worry about multiplying out the denominator. You can just leave it as factored form. So 12 times x minus 4 times x plus 3. All right, then we've got plus 5 over. What's missing in this fraction? What's missing in this fraction? What do you think, Sandra?
X plus 3.
So we have to multiply the denominator by x plus 3 and the numerator by x plus 3. So that means our numerator, we got to distribute that 5 to everything inside the parentheses. So it's going to be 5x plus 15 over 12 times x minus 4 times x plus 3. Any questions about how we got that? All right, so now we have the same denominator, so we're going to keep it. It's going to be 12 x minus 4 times x plus 3. And then in the numerator, we need to combine our like terms. So what's my new numerator going to be? What's my numerator going to be? What do you think, Ethan?
My bad, I was muted. I'm not sure though.
What should my numerator be?
I'm not sure.
Well, what can we combine? So 12x plus 5x plus 15. What are our like terms?
3.
We're just, remember, we already got our denominator, but what can we combine? We've got 12x, we've got 5x, and we've got 15. What can we combine together?
5.
5 with what? So we got 12x.
5 and x plus 3.
So forget about that. We're just focusing on the numerator. What gets combined together? What are like terms?
X.
So what do we do if we have like terms? What's 12x plus 5x?
17x.
Does the 15 have like terms?
No.
No, so it just has to say as 17x plus 15 over 12 times x plus 4 times 12 times x plus 3. Does that make sense, Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Last step, just double check and make sure that you can see if you can simplify the numerator. So there's no number that goes into 17 and 15, unfortunately. So this is your final answer. Questions on part B? All right, if there are no questions, then we're gonna move on to our partner practice. So I'm gonna move you into groups of 2 to 3 to solve the 3 problems under You Try. If you haven't gotten a chance to print these notes out, then you're gonna need to copy these down first before I send you off to your breakout room. So go ahead and copy down 1, 2, and 3. If you don't have them, I'll give you a minute to do so because you will not be able to see them when you get to your breakout room. As you're copying it down, just an expectation while you're in your breakout room, you need to have your microphone unmuted so that you can talk to each other. It's super awkward when I walk into a breakout room and everyone's just silent and not talking to each other. So make sure you do that. If your video is not on, please turn your video on as well because I'm sure your classmates would like to see who they're talking to. It's no fun to talk to a blank screen, so make sure you do that. Does anyone need more time to copy down 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I need some more time.
Make sure that you have your answers ready because I will be calling on people from each group to share your final answer. So make sure that everyone in your group knows the answer and is ready to share it out loud. All right? Hugh, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Anyone else need more time to copy it down? All right, so go ahead and get into your breakout rooms. I'll be visiting each one to answer any questions. You can also raise your hand if you need me to join and answer a question. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. So at, let's say 3 o'clock, no, 3:10.
memory.
I talked to you like
You
once or
just
twice.
didn't
I
talk
think
like
I
that though.
had you in music tech. Yes.
Music
no.
tech.
Hey, Miss B.
Any questions, y'all?
No, we're just
Nah,
catching
that's
up
pretty
on our middle
simple.
school years. You know,
Good. I'm
us
glad that you
buddy.
get this interaction.
I know. I
Very
hate when the Zoom calls
interactive.
everybody be shh, shh, and I be so then I turn my camera off and then I turn my mic off because I'm like I'm not sitting here just.
No, I think that's the part that I miss most about school is that we can't talk to each other anymore.
No,
It's
and I'm
just
such a
being
social
noisy
person.
at the background for me. That's why I keep my stuff muted.
That's okay. I do appreciate the muting when we have to go over notes, but I do miss being able to talk to each other. Anyways, continue.
I just finished these equations and I'm done.
Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna go and check on the other group.
All right, for
Gotcha.
sure.
How's everyone doing? Any questions?
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I got multiple questions. Hold on. Let me go to my paper. So bless mama. Okay, so oh my god. So don't you add the 4x minus 3 together and then you don't have to add the x minus 5 together too, right?
No, you just keep the common denominator. Yep. I like the
And then
hair
what would you
also.
do after that?
That's it. Can you simplify it
That's
any
it.
further?
No?
Nope, then that's it.
Oh, that's the answer. Don't talk to my dog like that. Thank you.
Any other questions? No, you're good.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I
yeah.
have one. For number 2, for k squared plus 16, is it just k parentheses k plus 16?
No, you can't factor out a k because you see how the 16 doesn't have a k?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't factor it out. It's already simplified the most. You can't factor out k squared plus 16.
Well, okay.
That makes sense? Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, let me know if questions do come up and I'll come back.
Up. And so basically I did not pass algebra 1 second semester and that's why I'm here. And it sucks so bad because I could be so done with math, but my dumb young self decided to goof around in class and not care and get an F. And that was my first mistake.
I love
Math
how
is
you
good
kept the
class,
PG
so.
right there.
Huh?
I love how you kept the PG right there. I wouldn't
Real
have
quick.
recovered
Yeah.
that quick.
I know. Whoopsies. Math is just me and math, Miss Bhagwan. We don't get along.
We're
We
not
struggle.
homies.
Yeah, that,
Oh, God.
I love that, Ethan. That makes sense. Karen, I hope
Well, clearly.
at the end of the semester, at least you and math tolerate each other. You can be acquaintances.
I know. As long as I pass this class, I'm good. I have to take no more math classes. Right after
That's a
this
fact.
class, second semester, I take health. I signed up for
After
summer
this,
school a little late.
I don't
So
even know what I have this like next semester. I don't even
you're
think
probably
I
going to
have
be
math.
taking
Go finish your problem.
pre-cal.
Oh, wait, I forgot about that.
Weird. You guys have 3 more minutes. Finish your problem. And you can chat.
So,
Multitask.
Alrighty. Okay, so number 3, we're using the X method. 6 on the top.
Magical.
5 or 5 on the bottom. 6 minus 1, and then it's gonna be X plus 6, and then X minus 1. You feel? Y'all like
Yes,
that?
sir.
Yeah, that's a true story right there.
Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
No. I mean,
Was this a
yes.
2005
Yeah.
BET movie?
You said what?
Sounding like a 2005.
All right, it looks like we have everyone back. So let's go ahead and share our answers. So for number 1, what did you all get, Dion?
I got 7 over x minus 5.
So remember, you can't combine the 4x and the 3 because those are not like terms. So you just have to leave it separately as 4x
Okay.
3 over x minus 5. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. What did you get for number 2, Karen?
K plus 2 over 5.
Any restrictions?
I don't know what that is.
So do you see how you canceled out this k minus 2 at the very end?
Mm-hmm.
That means anytime you cancel it out, you have to set up a restriction. So you have to set that k minus 2 equal to 0 and solve for that, and that's a restriction.
Oh, okay. So it's right there. You already put it up there. It's the K plus 2 since we canceled out. Yeah, okay. Okay.
That's the only thing I would say. Any questions about number 2? Here's all the work as well. All right, I'll take a volunteer for number 3. Does anyone think they have the answer for number 3? Or at least how to start it?
I kind of got confused.
How far
Number 3.
did you at least get to factor?
Yeah, I just did the x at the beginning.
Yeah, so if you factor using the x, the numerator, it factors out to m plus 2 and m plus 3 because that's your x. And this is the tricky part. You can also factor out the denominator, so that's difference of squares. So you should have m plus 2 and m minus 2. And then here you'll notice that since you have m plus 2 in the numerator and the denominator, you can actually cancel those both out. And that would leave you with m plus 3 over m minus 2 plus 2 over m minus 2. And now you actually don't need to worry about having a common denominator because your denominator is m minus 2. They both have the same denominator, so you don't have to worry about finding a common one. And then because you canceled out the m plus, so you can combine these. So m plus 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2 combined to give you 5 over m minus 2. And then because you canceled out the m plus 2, that's a restriction. So you need to set the m plus 2 equal to 0 and then subtract 2 from both sides. So m cannot equal negative 2. Are there any questions about number 3? Does anyone need more time to copy this down before I switch the screen? All right. Here we have 1 more minute left. So here's your homework for tonight. First thing, if you're planning on renting a graphing calculator, make sure to do that today or tomorrow. And then your assignment tonight is 7.1 part 2 on Big Ideas Math. It'll be due tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Questions? All right, you are free to go if you are done. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll stick around for a few minutes if anyone has any questions. Bye, see you tomorrow.